Hey there everybody. Today I'm going to give you a little tip here and we're going to look at how to go about learning to shift into third position from first position. Shifting into new positions when you haven't done it before can be quite intimidating and daunting, but I'm going to show you a quick little exercise that we can do to just get used to this and know what we're aiming for here. So let's get into it. Before we get started here, I just wanted to remind you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and like this video. Leave me a comment and let me know if it helped you. If you haven't checked out my Patreon page yet, I have over 100 lessons there ready for you to access immediately. So check that out. You can subscribe for $5, $10, or $20, depending on how much you want to access and what your position is. Thanks so much. Let's get back to it. Okay, let's look at shifting into third position. The first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to do a partial scale here. So we're going to start on the E string, have our hand in our regular position. We're going to play the end part of an A major scale, right? So open, 1, 2, 3. Now our third finger there is on the note A. That's the note we're aiming to get our first finger to. Okay, so I want you to use your ear to kind of aim for that note. All right, that's where we're going. We're going to take our first finger, okay, and we're going to aim to get our first finger where our third finger is. So play your first finger, and then play your third finger. And I want you to slide up very slowly, keeping your hand as one unit. Your thumb moves with your hand, okay? And I want you to slide up from first finger to where your third finger was. And stop as soon as you get there. Now you can do that by just lifting the pressure a little bit from your first finger. Lift off that pressure a little bit and let your hand kind of glide up. And once you reach that note that you've been aiming for, that your ear knows where our third finger is, I want you to stop and put that pressure back down. Okay? And we're ready to continue our scale further up. 1, 2, 3, right? So let's have a look at that. This is what it's going to sound like. So we're going to play our third finger and then play it again with our first finger as we slide up to it, right? So we're playing the note we're aiming for. That's as a reminder to our ear what we're aiming for, and then we're sliding up. So we've got the note here, and then we'll slide up with our first finger. Okay? This time we're going to try it without hitting our third finger, okay? Okay, so you know what you're aiming for, but we're not going to play it first this time. We're just going to go back to our first finger and let it slide up until we get to the note we're aiming for. Okay. Now, you really want to train yourself not to overshoot that slide, right? You want to stop your finger when you reach that note. So do that slide really nice and slowly at first. And stop as soon as you reach the note that you're looking for. If we go too far, you need to stop and start that again, because we don't want to train our hand and our ear to miss what we're going for. The point of this exercise is to train our hand to get to know whereabouts we need to stop. Because once you start doing this faster and you do less of a slide, you're going to be relying on your muscle memory and your ear to tell you when to stop, right? And that becomes easier over time. But at first, it's really helpful to just do that slide really slowly and stop once you reach the note. Okay, and as you get faster at that, you can sort of release that pressure a little more so that you get less sound as you slide. And make that movement faster over time as well. All right, there was just a tiny little hint of a slide up there at that time. Okay, until you get to the point where it's extremely minimal. But that is the process. We start with that really big, obvious slide, and we move the whole hand as a unit, right? So don't be stretching your finger out like this with your thumb kind of sticking around where it was. You need to move that whole finger up with the thumb moving along with it. Okay, let's look at sliding back and shifting back from third position to first position. We're going to do a similar thing here with this exercise. We have 3, 2, 1. We're in third position, 3, 2, 1 there, C sharp, B, A, and we're going to put our second finger down. Now our second finger is what we're aiming to land on, back in first position, right? But what we're going to do this time is we're going to put our second finger down and slide it back until we reach the note that we're aiming for. So it sort of feels like we're going back up the scale before we go down, right? But this is just part of the exercise. We've got 3, 2, 1. We're going to put our second finger down, slide it back until we reach that G sharp note, and continue down from there. Okay, that's just to get used to kind of the way that our hand is going to move backwards as a unit, and to keep ourselves in tune and to you know, build that muscle memory. As we get faster, we can kind of make that slide less noticeable, right? But that's a really, like, do that 100 times before you start speeding it. And before you kind of make it less noticeable and eventually kind of not noticeable at all. But you know, that movement is what's going to train you to get it in the right place. All right, I hope that helped. So just practice those slides 100 times. So that eventually we can reach. All right, we'll see you next time. All right, we'll see you next time.